Hi everyone, Cyrus here. It's been, let's just call it a spade, and it's been a rough 2 weeks around the world. And I don't know, for a group that's just starting out trying to help save it, I think it was discouraging for everyone, not just us. We're a little somber this week. We'll touch on all that news in our updates with BC and Val. But I just want everyone to know not to lose hope, because sometimes that's all we've got. Stay strong, everyone. Hi, I'm Cyrus Delgami, one of the main characters of the Seventh Valkyrie fantasy series. Through a strange twist of fate, myself and the rest of the crew got dropped off on Earth, and we figured that while we're in the business of saving our world, we might as well try and help out here too. So was a podcast the best way to do that? Who knows, but ideas are powerful, and they're all our team's got right now. So without further ado, welcome to Seventh Valkyrie Live. Hey everyone, and welcome to Seventh Valkyrie Live. I'm your host for this week, BC, joined by the hero of Edara, Valentin Descartes. Hey, BC, you got a problem before we start? Or are you just gonna stay pissed and throw backhanded shit at me? Oh, no, sorry, I'm just having a little bit of a hard time glorifying the nationalist, minority-crushing, near-religious icon of an ex-soldier today. I don't know, I guess seeing Edara crust insurrections before makes all this shit look kind of familiar. Yeah, that's what I fucking thought. I had thought we'd agreed not to bring up each other's past wrongs on the podcast, BC. Nightmare, whatever he calls you now. What does it even fucking matter? What does any of this matter? Ruth Bader Ginsburg died, and before her body was even fucking cold, those assholes are rushing to ignore her dying wish, pack the court, and try and steal a fucking election. I mean, I don't even want to get into the fucking hypocrisy, the spinelessness, because honestly, I'm done with trying to play fair against a bad faith organization. Yes, I'm talking about the fucking Republican. This is an outright assault on democracy, on freedom, on any form of fairness, and any motherfucker who is still burying their head in the sand is complacent in my book. BC, Cyrus was saying we need to be balanced on this segment. Oh, Cyrus was saying we need to be balanced? Fuck him. And fuck everyone playing the both sides card. Fuck this weird pseudo-centrism. Fuck each and every one of those people who pick some obscure reason to pretend that they can fucking stick on this guy's side and still believe they're on the side of good and justice. Fuck you if you doubt me, Val. And anyone who listens to this who lets themselves believe for a second that they're not complicit, that they are not on the wrong side of the history, can go to fucking hell. If you'd have let me finish, what I was going to say is that I agree with you. Look, you can understand the fear and the pain and the small world view or ignorance. You can understand the desire that drives these people, and you can still hold them to a higher standard of humanity. Here's the truth. There is a limit to ignorance or simply acting in your own best interest before you become complicit. And I think we've gotten to the point where anyone still supporting these motherfuckers is complicit. You are on the losing side of history, and just like the men behind the fire hoses during the civil rights marches, or the families picketing black schools, or the men just following orders in fucking Nazi Germany, you are wrong. Conservatism will not die in one election, but evil can be born in one. Right now, the right, people who claim to be on the right and still be good people, they need a fucking wake-up call. We've been very fair. us, the Seventh Valkyrie team, we try and be neutral. We try and be, speak for humanity rather than any political side. And this isn't a case of liberal versus conservative. This is a case of human rights, good versus evil. People need to wake the fuck up. When do we say it's enough? When do people wake up and say it's enough? When is it a breaking point? No one was charged when Breonna Taylor was killed. And I've heard people arguing they just fucking followed the law. Well, when people can follow the law for a no-knock warrant and murder an innocent person, the fucking law needs to change. This isn't about picking out why a jury or a lawyer could conceivably make an argument. This is about looking at common sense. This is about looking at building a better fucking world. If the law allows this to happen, the law needs to change. If the law allows for senseless brutality, the law has to change. I'm so tired of people pointing to people who uphold the law and they are they're just doing their jobs, they're holding responsibility. It needs to change if you are creating injustice. Justice is different than what the law says. I mean, and then you've got people, and then they're just going to rat fuck it even harder if they change the Supreme Court. Hey, fuckers, newsflash. If you need to cheat to win, if you need to act in bad faith to win, you are the bad guys. If you need to change the laws and gerrymander districts and sneak in lifetime judges and restrict people from voting to win, you are the bad guys. Wake up and understand that. If you need to sneak in lifetime judges who base their interpretations off of something a bunch of racist slave owners wrote in fucking 1970, not even in fucking 1787, despite the fact that they literally said they wanted it to be a living, changing document because justice changes with the times, then you are wrong. You are just wrong. If you took a second to try and actually stop arguing in bad faith and try to understand things from a neutral perspective, if you actually gave truly neutral thought a chance rather than coming from this place of just like defensiveness and shame and backed up in a corner and tribalism, you would see how much room there is to grow and how much fucking shit. And I'm not saying that people on the other side are perfect because no one fucking is. But if you even thought for a second to look at the problems within your own party, within yourself, you would see how much is fucking wrong, but people are not. They are just twisting further and further up their own asses. And I don't know when it's going to fucking stop. I can fight, Val. I can hurt people. That's, I understand how to create pain. We all know how to create pain, but I have no idea how to fucking stop this. I have no idea how to fucking stop this. Have you ever heard my mantra? The original one, not the one Edara twisted and made into a religious symbol. No, I don't think I have. I have not paid too much attention to studies of the Iron Wolf. Fair. It goes like this. I will pray to no God, for no God will answer me. I will bow to no king, for no king will bring me justice. I will bend to no law, for no law will deliver me from evil. And I will fear no man, for no man can break my spirit. In all us there is some sense of what is right. And to listen to it is probably the hardest thing that we all have to do. That's why people listen to gods and kings and laws and men, because they tell us that our lives will be easier if we just listen to them instead of listening to ourselves, to what we know is right. But listening to them is only trying to get around the truth that what we do here on earth is what we do in this life is hard. To do the right thing is hard. And it's not easy. It's not like listening to the gods, the kings, the laws, the men, because it requires us to judge every moment with and listen and take the hard path sometimes. I say I will pray to no God because when preachers and priests call for violence and this restriction of rights, reject them because they are wrong. I say I'll bow to no king because when kings or presidents or politicians no longer speak for their people, reject them. And when laws fail to protect the innocent, when laws justify injustice, we must reject them. Because when it comes down to it, behind all those false beliefs and unjust laws and corrupted kings, there are just men. People talk about how money is power. Money is only worth anything if you can pay people to use it. Laws are treated like power. Governments are treated like power, but they are only worth anything if we, the people, decide to follow them. And if this country is broken, it might be time to start thinking about fixing it. Because a country is never beyond fixing as long as people, men, women, all those who identify somewhere between are willing to fight for it. And so long as dictators die. So long as dictators die. I want to think about that. Cyrus, he has a piece on hope to share after this, and I'll let him. But sometimes I hold on to something else. The evil men you see around us, they will die. Trump will die. McConnell will die. Barr will die. Everyone will die. And it's up to us. It's not up to us to decide when all that happens, but it is up to us to understand that when that happens, they will die broken and pathetic as they have always been. Evil men are broken. Evil men are pathetic, and they are afraid and weak and sad and unfulfilled. They are cowards, and deep down they know it. You think Donald Trump isn't a small, sad, unfulfilled man? Look at that fucking pathetic piece of, the result of neglect and uncaring and abuse and toxic culture manifested into the one dripping, ineffectual, loudmouth, arrogant, weak-minded sack of shit that sits in our office. He is a coward because the only true courage, the only true bravery is to face that long road of trying to do what is right every day. And when he dies, when they all die, that time will come and they will die broken and ashamed, or still hateful, or still wrapped up in their little path of lies, but know that they will be unfulfilled. And they will fall to history as broken, evil, pathetic cowards who briefly took power for the most shameful among us. Because there's no plan, there's no end game. It is just the thrashing of weak, pathetic men who can't stand the sign and the sight of light, and of people who are better than them, who have fought and desperately tried to pursue that light. I can't speak for the future. I don't know how dark this fight is going to get. But know that as long as men die, and as long as the good don't lose hope, that good that exists within us, that pursuit of it will never perish. And all each one of us can do, all any of us can do is fight for the light. To those in the street standing up for justice, to those struggling imperfectly towards what they believe is right, to those fighting for all that they have, knowing they may never even see the joy of winning this struggle. Know that the simple fact that you've had the courage to do what you believe is right makes you the light bearer for all of us. A Treatise of Hope. I focus my heart on the good, for in the good there is always hope. And I know that in the depths of night, the good will always, always overpower the evil, eventually. I step out in the garden and I watch the trees sway in the breeze, delicate drops of dew drifting down in the morning sun. And I know then that there is hope. There is a cat who jumps upon my windowsill and meows. He cuddles with me as I sit watching the afternoon showers where the winds whip and lash the trees. And I know then that there is hope. I walk the street in the evening and I see a friend passing the other way. I've never talked to him. He is not like me, not in any way. But I always smile, and he always smiles. And I know that there is hope. In the heart of the night, sometimes I cry. I see heartbreak and fear like black clouds that obscure all light. I see hate and haughtiness, heartbreak and fears, twisted children, and yet for every single person that stands up and says, "No, we are better. We will be better," I see a shining star, and I know that there is hope. "I wish it need not have happened in my time," said Frodo. "So do I," said Gandalf, "and so do all who live to see such times. But that is not for them to decide. All we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given us. All we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given us. And I choose to hope. Desperately, defiantly, with all that I am, I choose to hope."